Good morning, folks. My name is Kurt Hitzemann, County Court Judge here in Hernando County. You folks are here for your first appearance. The purpose of the first appearance is so that you may be informed of the charges against you. I'll determine if there's probable cause for those charges, and then we'll set your conditions of pretrial release, that is your bail or your bond. In most cases, you've had a bond set already pursuant to the bond schedule here in the 5th Judicial Circuit or the warrant which led to your arrest. I'll determine if that bond should be raised or lowered or left the same, or whether there'll be additional conditions of pretrial release placed upon you. I'll let you know when your next court date will be. If you'd like to have the services of the public defender, I'll gladly appoint the PD to represent you this morning. You do have a right to have contact with folks on the outside, family, friends, counsel. If you haven't had a chance to make that call, please let me know, and we'll make sure that that happens. Finally, and most importantly, you're advised that you do have an absolute right to remain silent with regard to the facts which surround your arrest. I encourage you to do that. These proceedings are recorded. In addition, there is an assistant state attorney in the courtroom with me. If you say something that tends to incriminate you, they will use it against you in the prosecution down the road. I now need each and every one of you there at the jail to please raise your right hands and be sworn. You all solemnly swear, affirm, tell truth, whole truth, nothing but the truth. Outstanding. When I call your name, please step forward to the podium. Amber Newhall. Morning, Amber. What's your date of birth?
6/15/95.
All right. Amber, I got a couple of issues for you this morning. We have 3 new charges, attaching a tag not assigned, driving on a suspended license, and a petty theft. Then there's also a probable cause arrest for a violation of probation out of Sarasota County. Are you on probation in Sarasota?
Yes, I'm a mail-in.
Okay. Oh, okay. So you live here and are mailing into Sarasota?
Yes.
Okay. All right. As to those charges, you want to represent yourself? You want to hire a private counsel? Would you like the public defender?
The public defender, please.
I'll appoint the PD. All right. So Amber, how this is going to work is on the 3 charges that you have here this morning, I'll set your bond at $500 on each count. That's a total of $1,500. Those cases are coming back on September 20th here. The violation of probation case, of course, the bond is no bond. So how this works for you is if you were able to post the $1,500, then you could bond out, and at that point they would notify Sarasota that you're here and give them 5 days to come and pick you up so that you could deal with the VOP down there. If you don't post the bond in the local charges, my guess is when you get to court on the 20th of September, before that the PD would come see you, and when you got to court on the 20th, they would resolve those cases, and then at that point they will send you to Sarasota. But the choice about how to do that will be up to you, okay?
Okay.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Carolyn Moyers. Morning, Carolyn. What's your date of birth?
9/27/65.
Carolyn, you're here on a warrant that was signed by Judge Toner. He found probable cause for a violation of probation. As to that charge, you want to represent yourself? You want to hire private counsel? Would you like me to appoint the public defender?
Public defender.
I'll appoint the PD. The bond on Judge Toner's warrant is no bond. I can't change that. I'm going to send you back to see him on September 25th. Public defender will come see you before then, okay?
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Diana Massetti. Morning, Diana. What's your date of birth?
5/11/1987.
Diana, the charge is driving under the influence. There's probable cause for the charge. As to that charge, you want to represent yourself. You want to hire a private counsel. Would you like the public defender?
Public defender, please.
I'll appoint the PD. State, what can you tell me?
Possession of diazepam in 2010. It's a conviction. So I'm showing judge.
All right. And Diana, I have an address for you on 4th Street North in St. Petersburg. Is that where you live?
Yes, right now I was just staying with a friend, but yeah, that's my address.
Okay. Do you have a job these days?
Yes, I do. I actually have work and school tomorrow. I work at Rural King and I'm a full-time student in college.
Okay. All right, we'll leave the bond at the $500. I'm going to have you back in court on September 20th. It's very important, Diana, when you get out that you go see the public defender right away, okay?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Barry Rooks. Morning, sir. What's your date of birth?
9/17/65.
And Barry, you're here on a probable cause arrest for a violation of probation. There is probable cause for the VOP. As to that charge, you want to represent yourself? You want to hire private counsel? Would you like the public defender?
Public defender, sir.
I'll appoint the public defender for you. Of course, the bond will be no bond. I'll have you back in court on the 25th of September, and the public defender will come see you before then, okay?
Yes, sir. Thank you.
You bet. James Crockett.
Morning, Your Honor.
Morning, Mr. Crockett. What's your date of birth?
6/24/80.
All right, Mr. Crockett, you're here on a warrant that Judge Merritt signed. Apparently, you failed to appear in his court last week on a charge of driving on a suspended license as a felony charge. Did you have a lawyer on that case, Mr. Crockett?
Yes, I do. I have a public defender. I showed up on the 28th.
Okay.
I thought it was the 28th.
All right. And I understand, Jim, there's not much I can do about it. This is how they get you back on the docket. We'll get you back in front of Judge Merritt, and he'll decide what to do next, all right? I'll continue the appointment of the public defender. Unfortunately, the bond on the warrant is no bond. I can't change that. I'll send you back to see Judge Merritt on September 19th. Public defender will come see you before then and see if you can get your case worked out, all right?
Okay.
Thank you. Nicholas Gillette. Morning, Nicholas. What's your date of birth?
11/18/84.
All right, Nicholas, you're here on a warrant that Judge Toner signed. Apparently, you failed to appear in his court yesterday. You must have come late, huh?
Yeah, I showed up 20 minutes late.
Okay. The charge is organized fraud. You got a lawyer on that case, Nicholas?
I just got a letter from the public defender Friday.
Okay. So we'll continue the appointment of the public defender. Judge Toner set your bond at $5,000, and we'll have you back in front of him on September 25th. If you get out, make sure you go see the PD right away, okay?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Michael Levinson.
Morning, sir.
Morning, Michael. What's your date of birth?
April 22nd, 1982.
Michael, you got a charge of false report to a law enforcement agency. There's probable cause for the charge. As to that charge, you want to represent yourself. You want to hire private counsel. Would you like me to appoint the public defender?
Public defender, sir.
Appoint the PD, state.
2005 uttering, so withhold. 2005 controlled substance by fraud, withhold. 2005 again controlled substance ×2 ×3. Looks like, I'm guessing he may have violated his probation. Looks like he's an adjudicated felon from 2005, so I'm not sure what he's doing with the gun to begin with. But yeah, violated probation 2005. So I'm sure that's the one, Judge. I can't confirm anything else.
Okay. All right. And Michael, I've got an address for you on Mead Drive in Spring Hill. Is that where you live?
Yes, sir.
How long have you been there?
6 years.
All right. Do you have a job these days?
No, sir. I'm working on getting on Social Security.
Okay. I'll leave the bond at the $500. I'll have you back in court on the 20th of September. Make sure you go see the public defender if you get out, all right?
All right. Thank you.
You got something on this docket, George?
I'm covering a 9 o'clock change of date. I don't know if that's going to be on TV or...
I think she's on TV. Lindsay Robabaro.
That's right.
Lindsay Robabaro.
Morning.
Morning. And Rich is at time served.
Supposed to be a time, sir. I will accept that resolution, Judge.
All right. And anybody tell me what she was charged with?
Retail theft.
Okay. And Rich, do you know about restitution or do you mean reserve?
I'm showing no restitution due, Judge.
Outstanding. And Ed, what did
Indication
you,
of the court's discretion, Judge,
Okay.
we'd ask for a withhold.
what did you tell me the time was? 13?
I'm sorry? 13 days.
13. The PD did your time served calculation for you.
Thank you.
All right. Lindsay, you understand by entering a plea today, you give up the right to have a trial by jury, the right to confront the witnesses against you, the right to remain silent, but you want to give up those rights so we can resolve this today?
Yes, I do.
Whoever you spoke to as an attorney, are you satisfied with that person?
Yes, I am.
All right. Case number 17MM2480 as to the charge of retail theft. How do you wish to plead? You can plead no contest.
No contest, Judge.
I'll accept the no contest plea. Find it's freely and voluntarily made. I'll let her keep her withhold. Sentence her to 13 days in the county jail. Credit 13 days served. It'll be a fine and court cost of $620 and costs of incarceration. But that takes care of it, Lindsay. If there's nothing else keeping you in jail, you're free to be released today. I think you have a bond to post, but you're free to do that now, all right?
Okay, thank you so much.
Thank you. Good luck.
Thank you.
Yes.
Strike. And Judge, what was the fine and court cost?
$620.
$620, and you said cost of incarceration?
Right.
What's that, 50 a day?
50 a day. Yep.
That's all I have.
There you go. Thanks.
It's been a pleasure being
Good
with
to
you.
see you. All right. Zachary Lopez.
Good morning, Your Honor.
Morning, Zachary. What's your date of birth?
32996.
You got a felony case. Zachary, you're here on a warrant that was signed by Judge Heinemann. He found probable cause for one count of battery, being domestic in nature. As to that charge, you want to represent yourself? You want to hire private counsel? Would you like the public defender?
A public defender, Your Honor.
Point the PD. State what you tell me.
Showing an arrest in 2015 for drug trafficking and paraphernalia. No resolution showing. That's all I have.
Zachary, I have an address for you on Amherst Avenue in Spring Hill. Is that where you live?
Yes, sir, that is correct.
How long have you lived there?
About 2.5 years.
Okay. Do you have a job these days?
Yes, sir, I work at Circle K, right off of Linden. It's a BP. I got work tomorrow at 3 p.m., sir.
Okay. Zachary, I'm going to set your bond at $500. Condition of the bond, however, is that you'll have no contact with, with Caitlin
Thank you,
Lemus.
Your Honor.
Hang on a second. You'll have no contact with Caitlin Lemus. No contact means no contact of any kind. You don't call, you don't write, you don't email, you don't text message, you don't contact her through any social media. You don't have a third person contact her. Don't go where she lives, don't go where she works. You don't have any contact of any kind. Any way that you might imagine contacting her, I forbid you to do that. If you have contact and we find out about it, your bond can be revoked and you can be held without bond until the charge is resolved. It means no contact even if she wants the contact. So if you answer your phone and hear her voice, you should hang up. If you're out and about and see her, you should turn around and run the other way. You need to understand that she cannot drop the charges against you. That's not a decision she gets to make. She may go to the state attorney's office and tell them that she wants the charges dropped. She may say she's not interested in pursuing this, but that decision belongs solely to the assistant state attorney who's handling your case. So unless that person or the judge on your case tells you the charges are dropped, you should assume they are not dropped and you should not have contact. So you have a question, Zachary?
Yes, Your Honor. I'm sorry. I'm partially deaf. Can you please repeat the last part for me? I'm sorry. I just couldn't hear you.
Okay. Can we give him some hearing assistance?
Yeah, 1 second. Thank you.
Okay, that should be better.
Yeah, much better, Your Honor.
Okay. Do you need me to go through the no contact with you again?
No, I heard that part, Your Honor. The part after that? After no contact.
Well, that's all I was doing. I was explaining that you can't have contact with her. I also told you that she can't drop the charges against you. That's not a decision she gets to make. That decision is only made by the assistant state attorney handling your case, so you have to make sure that you don't have any contact with her in any way until we get this case resolved. You understand that?
Yes, sir. I understand that completely.
Okay.
I just want to let you know something. She contacted me, and I didn't respond at all, and she told me she wants to drop the charges, and she wants nothing to do with this.
Okay. And that's what I'm telling you. And what part of what I said was if you answer your phone and hear her voice or see a text, you got to not respond to it. You got to hang up the phone.
Right.
If you're out and about and see her, just run away. If she wants to drop the charges, somebody will tell her how to do that. I'm not promising you that that will happen. That's what I just told you.
Okay.
But because that's not really her decision, but they will listen to what she has to say. But ultimately, the assistant state attorney decides. So we're going to have you back in court on September 20th. Make sure that you don't have contact between now and then, and make sure that you're in court on the 20th, all right?
Yes, sir.
Very good. James Neeb.
Ready to stop talking. How you doing, Your Honor?
Very good. Mr. Neeb, what's your date of birth?
01/18 of 96.
All right. Mr. Neeb, I have 2 charges this morning. I've got an aggravated assault being domestic in nature and a violation of an injunction for domestic violence. As to those charges, there is probable cause. You wish to represent yourself. You're going to hire private counsel. Would you like me to appoint a public defender?
Public defender, Your
I'll
Honor.
appoint the PD, State.
2016 out of Tampa, showing a withhold on burglary of a dwelling. Also grand theft, looks like out of the same incidents. Had a shoplifting back a couple years ago as a juvenile, violated his probation on that. Juvenile cannabis, a couple of dropped TVs. That's all I'm showing, Judge.
All right. James, had an address for you on Ashland Drive in Spring Hill. Is that where you're living?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Is that where your mom and your brother live?
Yes, sir.
Okay. You have a job these days?
No, sir.
I'm going to set the bond on the ag assault at $5,000. On the violation of injunction at $1,000. The total is $6,000. Condition of those bonds is that you'll have no contact with either your mother or your brother. Did you hear me explain no contact a moment ago?
Yes, sir.
And you understand that?
Yes, sir.
All right. Also have to hold you up to 4 p.m. so that if your brother wanted to serve you with an injunction, we know where to find you. As far as that address on Ashland Drive goes, okay, you can't go back there now if either one of them are there. You have to find someplace else to stay if you bond out. If you do bond out, you can go there one time to collect your clothes, your toothbrush, whatever you need for wherever you plan to stay. But to do that, you would have to contact the sheriff's office first. They'd meet you there with a deputy. You'd have a few minutes to grab your things and get going where you're going. I'll have you back in court on the 25th of September. If you bond out, you should go see the public defender right away. If you can't bond out, they're going to come see you at the jail, all right?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. All right. That's it, right?
Yep.
All right. Thanks, folks.
Thanks, Judge.